A very good morning to you. This is Saturday, the 30th of May. I did check my diary this morning, and the other day I told you it was April and it not, it's May. Time is flying, I guess, when you're having fun. Saturday morning, very sunny out there. Just looking out the window. Possibly if we're going to have another nice and hot day. I did some beading in the garden yesterday, and unfortunately, well, I applied suntan lotion all over and I missed like a 2-inch strip just here on my arm. So I'm sort of really very red on my arm in this two-inch strip. And so I'm going to bead more in the garden today, but I'm going to have to sit in the shade, I think, give my skin a little bit of a break from the sun, but it was really great. I finished a couple of really nice necklaces. Let me just show you, they're going on TV on Wednesday next week. So this is going to be a new colorway for the Tiffany. I love this pattern and I love making them up with the tile beads. They're really, really great. And this is another one, the navy blue one. So if I bring it up, probably you can see it better. This is going to be a new colorway as well. And I got one more, a purple champagne to do, but I'm going to have to do that today. I run out of time a little bit yesterday, so I'm going to be doing that later on. Today, I've got so much to show you and so many lovely samples. We're going to be working with these roses. You can do bracelets, you can do necklaces. And just grab a couple of them here. They sit really nicely. Let me just show you the light of them. Probably you're going to see that better. They sit really nicely and are really nice to work with. Very nice summery project we did. But I've got so much sample. I will turn the phone down and I will show you all of them. So let me just say good morning, Maxine, Sam, Victoria, Marcia, Helen, Alicia, Lynn. Gosh, there's so many of you lovely ladies and gentlemen here. Good morning, Lucy, and Nikki, Christine, Joe, and Tida, Jackie, Paula. Jen saying, good morning, Kitty. Here we go again. Good morning, Mary and Margaret, Liz and Tida, Camille, Doris. She says, looking good. Yes, I had to cover my arm up because I had a little bit of a sunburn here yesterday. Good morning, Doris, Gillian, Debbie, Anne, Annie, Alison. Oh, Alison is saying, hope you're not too sore. I got like a burn spray which is put on there this morning, so it's fine. It doesn't really hurt, but it just I think I better not sit in the sun today with it. Good morning, Ruth, Lucy, Marion, Sandra, Angela, Karen, Joe saying beautiful necklaces. I love them too. Good morning, Sheila, Gwen, Shone, Betty, Jax, Sarah, Karen, Jane, Annie, and Joan. Sorry, if I haven't read your comment out, I'm really sorry. I will go back after the Facebook Live. And if you had any questions or if good morning, Nat. Good morning, Dorothy. If I miss anybody's comment, I'm really, good morning, Raphael. I'm not really sure how to say your name, but what a lovely name. Rafah. Raphael. If you can tell me how to pronounce your name, that would be really great, so I can say it properly. I'm not really good about reading stuff out, I guess, because as many of you know, I'm originally from Hungary and English is my second language, and sometimes I can look at words and I'm thinking, why is that spelled that way when you say it completely a different way? Good morning, Jitty, Dorothy, and Angela. Dorothy's saying you're looking very glam today. So I just got like a sort of a long summer dress on. It's like a beach dress because it's really nice and warm morning soon. Right, let me turn you around and start showing you the samples, what we got and what we had got on today. So many of you, Sarah had a glass pearl bundle on last week and she was doing the acrylic roses. It's saying rotate your camera. That's it. When you were doing the acrylic roses, I think it was last Sunday. So many of you got your hands on this glass pearl bundle, which is a perfect to start your stash or to do anything. And we will be I'm going to choosing a couple of colors from this today and working with the roses. I had a little peek earlier, so I'm going to do the 2-row roses, and I think I'm going to go with this. Really, I can't decide if I should go with that one, which is a little bit more sort of beige color, or go with this one, which is a little bit more sort of purpley color with this. I want to do this pink rose because I got a top exactly the same color. So I want to make something to go with it. I think maybe this one, or actually it's really nice on the light pink as well. But no, let's put a little bit of purple on it. That one or that one? What do we think? Lindsay's asking, Kitty, quick question for you. Do you offer gift vouchers? Thanks. Yes, we do. I think if you phone the office, Simon would be able to sort that out for you. And the number is 01255 431629. Yeah, let's go with this one. I think we go with this really nice purpley color. So that's going to be one of my makes. I'm going to show you a couple of makes today. So if any of you had this bundle, well done. Simon put it back in the page today so you can have a look and you can have it because it's such a really great offer. These strands, usually there's 20 strands in here, 20 strands of 8 mil, 20 strands of 6 mil, and the colors are corresponding, so you can really comfortably use them in your designs because they're going to be really nice. So altogether you get 40 strands of these lovely pearls, and usually, well, it would be £50 if you just buy it separately on the website, but today, and what Sarah had as well, is $34.99, so it's a huge savings. But something like this, you're going to be using it for forever and forever and forever. The second bundle we had on of glass beads, or another bundle, and I think I showed this one to you first, was the speckled glass beads. Now again, this is a really good color collection as well. Here you got 36 colors, and you got 6, 8 and 10 mil in every single color. So again, it's a really nice bundle to work with. And we're gonna make another necklace, and I've chosen this seafoamy color. This is a 3-hole one to play with, and I think I'm gonna put you on either this green or this dark green, just to sort of have a little bit, maybe the lighter one, I think. But I also got this one as well. Oh, look, that would look really, let's go with this one. I'm gonna go with the darker green rose, and with this lovely green speckled glass beads. So those are the two what we're going to be playing today. I'm going to show you two different techniques. So again, this is 36 strands. Lovely color by. It's very summery colors. You can even do ombre finishes in there because you got all the colors in there as well. 6, 8 and 10 mil, and this again should be £45 but $29.99 the bundle for all of them. You can buy them separately on the website, but if you buy the bundle they work out less than £1 a string. Right, let me just put these trays down because you know me, I'm so, I would just send them flying in a minute. Right, so before we start, let me just show you some of the lovely samples what I have here. Now I use these roses in so many different designs that I think they're just really great. They're just really nice, and they're different. You can use them in bracelets. These are multi-row bracelets with elastic on. These are really easy. Let me just take this off. These are really easy to put on and take off and really give you a very nice effect. I did some with mixed roses, like this one is all the larger roses on there, and I did some with just small roses, which is quite nice as well. Which one shall I show you? I've got so many here. Let's show you this one. This one is just the white pearl and the small roses, and looks really nice as well. But then again, you can mix the colors of the roses as well and create an effect. And when you do this, when you mix the colors of the roses, what the great thing about this, so now because I got a blue, I got a seafoam and a turquoise in this bracelet, I can wear it with a blue top, I can wear it with a seafoam top, and I can wear it with a turquoise top because those colors are coming through. So I love mixing colors, but I made, there's so many here. I made this in many different colors. So we're gonna use our pearls and create a weave with a tiger tail like this for one of our makes, and then hopefully we'll have time. And oh, there's another color as well. This one, instead of the crystals, you got the small roses, but it's exactly the same technique. And if we have time, where's my other sample? Oh, there's a red one. We're gonna make this as well, so I'm gonna show you how to do this. When you have three, this is why with the speckled beads, because you got 10, 8 and 6 mil there, you can create this lovely effect. So have 3 strands at the front and just 1 strand going to the back. I mean, we cheated a little bit here because obviously the strand of 10 millimeters wouldn't be enough to go all the way to the top, but they're just reducing the size from 10, 8 and then to 6. They just create that lovely graduating effect, and I really love that. Let me just bring the video up on my computer here so I can see all your lovely comments, because at the moment I can't, it goes so fast on the phone in the rig that I can't really see what you... Take the sound off, I don't want to hear, I don't want to listen to myself. Right, let's just lovely green. Mercy is saying, oh, I got this bundle. Lucy's saying as well, I think my obsession is getting bad. Low. I mean, you should see my cupboards and drawers here, what I got. Kimberly's saying, yes, darken with dark green, that will be great. Lucy saying, great value on the bundles. Dorothy saying, lush. Sheila, elegant. Yes, they are really elegant and they're really easy to make. You only need a few sort of pieces of material to it, and you can make really lovely necklaces. Lucy saying, I love these. Dee saying, morning Kitty, morning Dee. Janie's just started watching, morning Jane. So let's get started. We're going to use tiger tail today, which is tiger tail and nylon coated steel wire. It has, this one I think has 7 strands. They sort of spun together in the middle, like really thin strands, and they coat it with a nylon. Now this does come in loads of different colors. I use the silver one, which is more like an antique silver color the most, I guess. And let's just get some of these samples. But look, I've got so much more samples here, which I didn't even get to show you, that we had so much fun with these ones, that we made them in all sorts of different colors. I mean, if you see this one, that's nice with burgundy as well. You can put them in so many different colors. Lucy's asking, do you have a bundle of those roses, Kitty? We didn't put a bundle together for the roses because they're available to buy separately. So you might, if you buy the bundle of pearls or the bundle of these lovely speckled beads, you're going to have so many colors there that you can match any of the roses to it. So whatever color rose you fancy, you will be able to match it up with the color in your bundle. So we just left the roses separately, and as there's 3 different kinds. So there is the small, well, there's more than 3, but the ones which has got sort of a flat back, and there's 3 different ones. So there is this smaller one with 1 hole, there is the medium one with 2 holes, and there is the large one with 3 holes. There is also a pendant available, I think, there. And there is sort of a 1 hole medium one, but it's got sort of a domed back, and that's perfect for different things. But we're just gonna go play with these ones today. Right, so I'm gonna play with this first. I'm gonna need a few more. We're gonna weave our, let's put the green to the side for the minute. Oh, Sarah is watching. Morning, Sarah. I thought Sarah was at the studios today. So maybe she's watching in between shows. Right, so we're going to use 5 of these. I'm also going to use, I can either put a smaller rose. What shall we do? Shall we put a smaller rose in between? Or shall we put a crystal in between? So we could do either or. I have brought some 10 by 14 crystals at home. And oh, I think this color would go rather nice with it. So we can either use the crystals or we can use the roses. Let me know which one would you like me to use, and I can make it with that. So this is the one with just with the roses, and this is the one with the crystals. Doris is asking, Kitty, are they acrylic or glass? These are acrylic. So they are, I guess if they were glass, because the glass would come really thin, where when the end of the roses, they would be quite breakable, so they made them in an acrylic. But it's they also call this material is fake coral, because it is really got the texture and sort of the consistency of coral, but obviously you're not allowed to buy or sell coral. And they're really nice. It's got a really nice, they're not too shiny, but they're shiny enough, but you get sort of a different colors inside the as you look at it from the front, because of the shadow, what all the petals are quite deep in there. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So if you look at it from the side, each petal is about 4 or 5 millimeters deep. You get this nice shadows inside, and a really nice effect. Right, crystals or small rose? Crystal and rose, Gitty just said. So let's just go with crystal and rose. So I'm just going to get these small ones out of the way, get some of those crystals. Now from the crystals, you only need a few pieces, because they're only just going in as in-betweens, just like that. And one more. So I can do a larger front piece, or I can do a smaller front piece with less of them. It's really it's up to you. What do you want to use in your design? You don't really have to make I guess a decision straight away, because what I like about tiger tail as well, until you fix the ends on, you are really free to do what do you really want to do, because it's just like, you know, you can take them off and restrain them again. So I'm going to take a couple of lengths of tiger tail. Now the tiger tail you're going to work with here is going to have to be a little bit longer, because obviously we're going to be doing this weave in between the crystals. So I'm going to take probably about, let's say 80-90 centimeters, but I might even have a meter here, just to be on the safe side. If you batch make these, I suppose after the first one you're going to know how big you want to make them, but depending on how many times you're going to go up and down. Now I have a little spring clap here. I don't know if you've seen these on our website today. This is really handy. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to temporarily add this to my tiger tail, sort of just to secure them, and they're just going to sit there nicely and you know, securely until I do my weave, and then I can come back and finish this end. Because when I'm doing any necklaces like this, when you have got a nice middle piece, I always like to start in the middle, because I want my tension best in the middle and then finish the ends. But if you batch making these and you made a few, you might as well start at the top, and you know exactly how many pearls you're going to have to add to it. In that case, I would attach one end, string both tiger tails through those pearls, and then start my weave and do the same on the other side. But if you are unsure, like this one has got 5 larger roses, this one is only got 3 larger roses on it. So if you unsure first, or you just want to play with it, this is a really great, these little springs. I can use them in with tiger tail. I can use them, I think they are about 75p each or something like that, maybe 99p on the website. You know, you could use them in so many different things. Right, so I'm going to start at this point. So I'm just going to put 1 8mm pearl on to hold both of them together, and then I'm going to start my weave. Because I want this lovely curl in my necklace, I need to use sort of both of the pearls at the same side in little sets, but it's pattern and repeat. Sarah's saying the roses and crystal would look great for little girls in hairbands. Yes, definitely. And we did a video not so long ago. I think, well, I'm still thinking this is lockdown, like sort of week 7, and yesterday somebody texted in that it was actually week 10. These might have been quite a few weeks ago, 5 or 6 weeks ago. Then we did a little video. I'm just taking the pearls off the strands of doing hair grips and hair bands, so you could quite easily, I haven't got any of the hair bands here with me, but quite easily secure this little rose on the top of the hair bands, and that would look really cute. Dorothy's saying, yes, they are great, but I can use now as I have arthritis. So not much power in my fingers. I rub lots of sellotape around the end of the tiger tail instead. Yes, so I suppose if you haven't got much power, it's hard to press it together. But to be honest, this is not really, the spring is quite easy to press together. It's not so hard, and it comes in a couple of sizes as well. I haven't got any of the smaller ones here, but the smaller one is even easier to press together. Right, so I'm gonna have both of my ends together. I'm gonna add one pearl to both tiger tails as we're starting on that point, and take it all the way. Sarah is saying, sorry I missed, what is the wire you're using, Kitty? So this is tiger tail. Tiger tail is a nylon coated steel wire, really, really strong. It hasn't got any stretch in it whatsoever. It's just like really great to work with. You need crimp beads to secure them into places, your ends and caps, but I will show you that just in a minute. So I'm going to add 3 pearls to either side. And then what we're going to do to start our pattern, we're going to cross over in one of the crystals. I'm just adding this 3rd pearl. Oh, come on, where's the hole? Let those 2 drop down, because otherwise I can quite easily ping them. So crossing over in a crystal means I'm going to put the crystal on a tiger tail from one end, and with my other tiger tail I'm going to come from an opposite end. So I got the ends coming out on both sides, and when I pull this up you will see how this will sit. So we got the start of our little pattern, really, really easy. I like to do it sort of quite nice and tight because I don't want any gaps between. Now, this is when it's gonna differ, your pattern is gonna differ because, let's get these out of the way. Because when you're crossing then back over in your rows next, your top is gonna go, top tiger tail gonna go to the bottom, and your bottom tiger tail is gonna go to the top, and then you sort of gonna weave yourself back. So you can't really add all the tiger tails going along on the top and then coming back, because your pattern is, the tiger tail is gonna be, you need to pick up the pattern for the top, and then on the same tiger tail you need to pick up the pattern on the bottom. So I like to do it as I go along, but some people like to string everything on one tiger tail and then come back with the other tiger tail and sort of weave through the beads they need to weave through. But I'm going to do it sort of side by side. Now this is my top one, so as you can see on the top one I just need to pick up 2 smaller pearls and let them go all the way down. One, 2, go all the way down. Now on our bottom one is going to differ because we want this natural curve in our necklace. I want to pick up 1 small one and 1 large one. So my bottom row is slightly larger than my top row, so I can have that curve quite easily in there. That's it. And now I'm going to take one of my roses and take the top one through. So as it says, the roses has got 2 rows in it, so I'm not crossing over in the roses. I'm going to take the top one through the top row and the bottom one to the bottom row. This is why these rows is great, because you can use them in so many different designs. You can also use them as like divider bars, I guess, because they got 2 roses, and because they got 2 roses they're not gonna turn around, they're gonna sit that way. The only thing you have to make sure that they always face up, because believe me, when I work with 2 hole beads sometimes I do make that mistake as well, but I'm not really watching what I'm doing, so I go along and they're all sitting nicely, and then I put the large one on and that's sort of upside down, and then I have to redo it and take it out and start again. Right, so we added our roses. Now we're gonna follow the pattern again. At the top we're gonna just add 2 pearls So at the top is always 2 pearls. Now on the bottom, I'm going to reverse what I did here. So I want to pick up a larger pearl first, which is going to sit next to my rose. And then I'm going to pick up a smaller pearl. So the sizes of the pearls we're working with here is 8mm and 6mm. And now we're going to cross over in a crystal again. So I'm taking one end through one way and taking the other end through the other way and pull this tight. And that's it. This is really how easy it is, and our pattern is already coming together. And then again at the top, you're just gonna add I'm gonna add a couple of more roses, then I show you what to do with the ends, because I really want to show you the other type as well. I love the graduated design, but there is so many different things you can do with these roses and use them in so many different ways. If you do get some and have a go, please go on our Facebook page. We got some groups, and one of them is called Handmade by Total Beads, and oh my gosh, there's there's over 1,000 people in there, but like-minded people really sharing the pictures and they makes what they make. So I really love to see some of your makes with these roses. So I just added the rose, and again I'm going to cross over in a crystal. Actually, this is not going to take that long, so we might be able to finish it all the way through. With stringing, usually it's much quicker than stitching, but even now that we sort of weaving our stringing, it's not going to take that long. And I'm crossing over in a crystal again. So I don't know what happened with the groups, because usually we get, if you have you have to go click on the group and you have to ask to join the group, and usually we get so many people each day asking to join. Sometimes when I go through, I sort of just tighten it up as I go through my necklace. So we get every single day, we get so many people asking to join, and I haven't really had many people for the last week or so. I think Facebook had a problem. And all of a sudden this morning I went in there to see, because I really do love to see all your pictures, and he had 74 people asking to join. So I think since from last Sunday, so I think Facebook must have had a problem, but it's all sorted now. So everybody who did ask to join last week, and I usually do it on a daily basis. So, and if you didn't get in last week, you're in now, because I think Facebook sorted all the problems they had. I mean, I can imagine there's so many people using Facebook nowadays. People are at home. I just keep pulling it tight. So already I have 3 roses and 3 crystals. So I could just keep it at 3, or I could keep going and make a larger front. I kind of like the larger front. Margaret is asking what size of the crystals. Now these are 10 by 14s. You could go down a size as well, or even up a size. But I just feel that sometimes don't be afraid to use the larger crystals and the larger pearls, because if it's going to look better in your design. And overall, I think, you know, the roses and the pearls together don't really overpower each other, so you get this really lovely effect. And I'm going to cross over in a crystal again. And that's it. Diane saying, I know I had to wait a while to get on to see the live videos. The live videos are on the Totally Beads main page. So with the main page, if you like our page, which is like Totally Beads Ltd, then you will get notifications when we go live. So if you don't want to miss out, we at the moment we're going live at 10 a.m. every morning. Me and lovely Sarah Millsop is sharing the videos between us, so we do get some lay-in some days, both of us, and we are here crafting with you. I really enjoy this, but as I get from Sarah as well, she's really enjoying these videos as well. It's really relaxed, I guess. When you have to do a TV show, oh, look, I just added another crystal and just had a crystal there. When you do the TV shows, you have to be at the studios 2 hours earlier with your hair and makeup done, and sort of, it's a more, I don't know, it's not stressful. It's not more stressful, I suppose, but just like more sort of preparation and everything else going there, and then you feel more, I don't know, I feel more nervous, even though now I've been doing it for years, that when I do go on there. But with these Facebook Lives, it's so nice and relaxed. And I think because I get all the comments back, and then you can ask the questions and I can answer your questions here at the same time. So I really enjoy doing these as well. This is my social interaction from outside of home, I guess, at the moment as well. I'm just adding another is this my last crystal? 1, 2, 3, no, one more set. And there we go. So I'm just gonna pop that there. I think you're answering each of those questions there. So if I'm sort of missed any of your comments, because sometimes it's quite hard to read the comments as well at the same time, trying to get on with your pattern and do the pattern at the same time. So I am, after the live, I always go back and go into the video and see all the comments, or if any questions you had and I missed answering it live, then I will answer it then. But we're using 6mm and 8mm pearls. This is from the bundle what Sarah had the first time last Sunday, and so many of you, I think, already got it. The roses are available separately on the website, and I'm going to use in a minute the speckled glass beads to create a different design with the larger roses, which is again a really nice summer make, that what you can wear at the moment, because we all started to wear low-cut tops and dresses. So I'm just adding the last little section here and pulling this up, and I'm going to cross over in the rogue bead, just gone flying. Lucy's asking what size is the smallest rose. So these ones, the smaller ones, they are 50mm, but to be honest, they don't look like 50mm. This is sort of quite strange to say that, but they are sort of the widest part of it, I guess, is 50mm, but they only, for me, they look like maybe 12mm in size, because you got the pointed petal shapes. It doesn't look as big. And this one, this medium size, is 25mm. But again, I think because of the shape of it, it doesn't really look like more than 20mm, I guess. So it's a really, it's a little bit, what's the word? Tricky to size it up when you're working with petals. Doris is asking, are you live on tonight? Yes, I will be. So I had a little on my personal Facebook page. So both me and Sarah, we're doing the Facebook lives here on Totally Beads, but we both have our sort of I need some more 6mm pearls here. We both have our personal Facebook pages. So my one is Kitty Robinson Designs, and Sarah's one is Sarah Millsop. She's got like a nice design logo on there as well on hers, so you know you can find it through the pages. And we both do these videos for, obviously, for Totally Beads, but we do our own little things as well. And I started on well, this is maybe last year, I think I started to do them. So on Saturday night, I do a little sort of tell you about my week, what happened. At the moment, there's nothing really different between week and week, but it's a bit more personal, I guess. So I went all the way through now, and I'm just gonna, I added the last 3 glass beads to both of the ends, and I'm gonna put them together and add an 8mm pearl on it. So on Saturday night at 7 o'clock, I will be there tonight. But I think from June, I'm going to have to start doing it on Sunday night, because there's always something going on Saturday night. The other week, I couldn't do it because we were waiting for our takeaway, which was supposed to take 30 minutes. And it took 2 hours to get delivered. Right, so you got a couple of options here once you did your pattern. Now you can introduce a 3rd piece of tiger tail. The cloth what we're using at the top, the most I suppose it will take, and the strings, the most they will take is 3 pieces of tiger tail. So if you really wanted to pull the top in, which I did here, I then introduced a 3rd piece of tiger tail and wove it around. This one doesn't have to be that long, because obviously this is only as long as the inside edge of your necklace. And I would take this tiger tail, oh, there's a little kink on them there, just cut that off. I would take this all the way through all of the pearls, but only on the top row. Let's just go tiger tail, because it's a nylon coated steel wire. You don't need to use a where is it gone? I don't want to go to the bottom row, I want to go to the top row. So I'm just going to take it through the first one. You don't need to use a needle with it because it's a little bit stiffer. I'm just going to pull this up, and I'm just going to take this tiger tail through the top row. Now if you wanted to, you could have done this when you do your weaving as well, but I didn't really want to sort of confuse you. I'm going to pull that pearl out of the way, so I've got a bit more room here to work with. I didn't really want to confuse you to introducing a 3rd tiger tail when we were weaving the 2 already. And just pull this up nice and tight, and then you're just going to go along this top row, so along the smaller pearls and through the roses themselves. I'm not going to go through the crystal beads at all. I'm just going to go through the roses. Just line it up, and that's it, get it through. Maureen is saying, I have 1 rose, doesn't feel plastic, cool to the touch. Yes, I think it's some sort of synthetic material. They do call it synthetic coral. The factory where we, where is that one? I want to tighten that one up. The factory we buy it from. So I think there might be some sort of stone material in as well, but they grind down and then mix it with loads of sort of other materials too. So I'm going to do it from the back. It will be easier to get to the pearls, because the rose on the front obviously it comes out further, and on the back is flush. So just keep carrying going on. I just want to get it through a couple of pearls so I can show you how it's pulling it together. I got you through. Oh, Margaret saying psyching. I was going to ask you how to tighten the top row. Let me just trim this, because I buckled the end of that tiger tail. I have to look sort of, because of the lighting rig is right in front of me with the phone in it, I sort of have to look at my hands in this little gap here. So sometimes it's quite hard to find the holes on the beads when you're doing the Facebook Live. But I have bought a new camera. I ordered a new camera because what I wanted to do, I want to be able to have the live sort of sideways, not a long ways, because we could have more sort of close up and we could see it really very well if the camera was that way. And I'm going to have a little play around with it. Maybe I do that tonight when I do my own Facebook Lives. Oh, come on through. Me saying it's really easy and then I get stuck on one of the pearls. That's it. So I just pulled it through with the help of a pair of pliers. And then I'm going to go into the next one. Now, some of the pearls actually can have smaller holes as well, because these pearls are made of glass, but they coat them with the material, all the different colors, what you see on them. And sometimes what happens, that coating seeps down to the hole. I don't know if you can see it if I hold it up, and can cover partial the hole. So sometimes you have to go in with a pin and sort of poke it out or something if there is something in the hole as well. I'm just going to do it one by one because it will be easier. When you want to do something really quickly, that's when it's, I guess the computer says no. So I'm just using my pair of pliers and just pinching the end of that tiger tail to help me to pull it through. And when I pull this tight, you can see that that top row, it just tightens up. But I'm going to go all the way, you need to go all the way along to tighten it all the way up. Maybe just these two. I'm going to take it through because I really want to show you. Oh gosh, we've been here for 40 minutes. So I really want to show you how to do the other design because I really love that design. So if you missed the beginning of the video, let me just recap and then we move on to the other design. So as you can see with the middle strand, I tightened these up. Now if I pull this up a little bit more, then as you can see, it really pulls itself in. And you're not going to have that gap between the pearls there. So it's just adding an extra tiger tail going all the way in the top row. It's going to make your necklace really nice and strong. It's still not as rigid as like if it was like a wire. It's a really nice wear as well. And then you would take all three ends together and add your pearls onto there. Just pull this tight. To go towards the back. So I'm just gonna show you this on one. Or was that the front door? Or maybe that's my son checking the front door because we ordered him a chair for his computer, which he really wanted, and it will be arriving today. So every, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, I hear the front door open and then close because he's checking the if it's came, I guess. Bless him. Right, so you would put all three strings on there and then you put your pearl down all the way down to the bottom. Fill this gap all the way up to the top with your pearls and then add your culotte. All three strands will go into the bottom of your culotte and crimp it on there and close it up there, but I will show you that just in a minute. So let's pop this to the side because I really want to show you this other necklace. Now I got a sample here in the red, but we're gonna make it in this lovely sort of seafoam green. It's like, it's between a seafoam green and teal, I guess, but it's more greeny than, you know, bluey, but it's a really lovely color. And we're gonna make with this, again, this is a very similar color rose. Now this rose has three rows at the back. So as you can see, if I turn it around, but obviously you don't see this on your necklace because you wear it to the front. I only turned my tiger tail around on the other 2 rows, so I'm not using, I'm only using the middle row to go all the way around my necklace. Now you can make these loops as big or as small as you want. Patricia's saying, wow, that's lovely, Kitty. Only just joined. My baby son has just been to visit. He's 50 years young today, and it makes me feel very old. Ah, you're not old at all. You're only as old as you feel, I guess. I keep saying stuff that, I don't know, in my head I might be thinking I'm younger than what I am. I'm just trying to see if I got a bracelet here. I thought I popped one in at work because we had so many samples. Like on the 2 row ones, if you do on a bracelet, you would take each row and add a strand of pearls to it. In the 3 row, if you wanted to use this to the bracelet, I thought I'll put a black one in. I would add it with 3 different strands of or so. I would take 3 different strands, each one through one of the holes, and 3 different pieces of elastic, and that would sit on the top of it. So then I would use it as a 3 row class. But let's start with this, and we're gonna make this one. So as you can see, because the rose is really nice and wide at the front, you can this little crimp bead which we got here, you can hide them just underneath the rose and you're not going to see them. They're not going to be scratchy at all, so we don't need anything in there really, because like a crimp cover or anything like that, because the rose itself goes sort of deeper at the back, and that will be against your skin. This little crimp bead are never going to touch your skin. Right, so as well as this, I just want to quickly show you the website. So if you go on our website, on the left hand side, or even if you click on categories, we got one which is called Facebook tutorials. This is today's ones here, which says 30th of May, but all the other ones then going back are on there as well. Sarah did crocheting with tiger eye beads, we did hematite finds, geometric rings, cabochons, garden decorations, we did button man, we did rainbow bubbly bracelet, which was using the same speckled glass beads what we just about to use in a minute. And when you go in there, you can we got sort of some of the products what we used in that video, but at the top, if you click on that Facebook page button, it will take you to the video where we were showing you how to make that particular item. So going back into today's, obviously the link will be updated later on to point to this video. You got a couple of bundles in there, and you got all the roses by different sizes. They're sold by pieces. They're not, the larger one, the medium size is 65p. The small one, you get 4 pieces for £1, so they work at 25p each. So they're not really an expensive material to work with. So do treat yourself to some, and it will be, you can have some great fun playing with them. The application for them is so much. Right, I'm gonna do the first, I'm gonna add the smallest beads to, oh, I need another one, to my rose. So I'm gonna take a tiger tail. Now this doesn't need to be a big one, I guess, because we're gonna loop around the ends here. We're gonna crimp it underneath it, and it's only need to be about maybe 6 inches or so. So I'm gonna work with about 10 inches of tiger tail, or 11 inches if you want to be safe. I'm gonna add a crimp bead to my tiger tail. Just put some out there because you're gonna need them anyway. So I'm going to add 1 crimp bead, and you can double crimp it if you like. I do like to double crimp necklaces, but I think in this instant it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to need one of these lovely, we're going to need these speckled beads as well. So I'm going to take this through the hole, that my little crumb bead is here. I'm going to take this through the hole, the inner hole of my rose. Then I'm going to add 1/6 mm of this speckled glass beads, or you can do it with pearls as well. And then I'm going to take this back through the hole, pull this up, add that little crumb bead, make sure that goes through the second, if I turn it around properly you can see it better. The crumb bead goes on both of the tiger tails. Now I don't really want to push this too much, because if I then turn this upside down, the little crumb bead would disappear inside the hole of the rose, because the hole is quite large. So what I like to do when I need to crimp something quite close, but I don't want then the crumb bead to disappear into the hole, I would go in and I would hold my crumb bead with my plier. So as you can see, I can still move it up and down. I haven't crushed it yet. I'm just gently holding it, and then I would take it right to the top and then crush it out, so that will be nice and secured there. Then coming from the other end, I'm going to start adding my glass beads. Again, you can have as many or as little. It's really up to you how big you want to make your design. And just keep on going. So this is going to be our inner roll. I'm going to tuck the end into the glass beads as well. So we're not going to see. You can trim the end off if you like, but you can tuck them in as well. Sarah likes to tuck it in all the time. She usually, even she uses a cloth, she takes it back down and tucks the end. It's, I suppose different people prefer different techniques, and I think the crumb beads are quite strong enough on their own. When I have to turn back on myself, I will tuck it in, make it go away nice and neat. And just keep adding. I can see you are answering each other's questions there. But if I miss any of your comments, don't worry, I will come back later on and go into the video, have a look at it, and answer any questions. So we're working with acrylic roses today, and I'm working right now with the speckled glass beads, which was a bundle I think I had on a couple of weeks ago when we were making that bubbly bracelet and necklace in the ombre and rainbow colors you can do. And bundles are like that is great because you get so many beads in there. For this, what was great about is that you got 6, 8 and 10 mil the same color in there, so you can create so many nice, maybe just a few more beads, so many nice jewelry with it. Let's take a few more off. And Sarah had the pearl bundle on, and that's what I used with the other design. So I think that's about enough. I'm doing it by eye. I'm not. I could count the beads if I wanted to, but at the moment I'm just doing it by eye. So now I'm going to repeat this on the other side. So how should I turn it so if you can see it? So if I turn it upside down, and I turn this rose upside down as well, I'm going to slightly angle it so you can see it better. Let's get rid of those. So because I'm coming out of this hole on this side, when I am going through the other rows, I must go through the same one. Otherwise, your one rose is going to be back to front. So I'm going to need to go through this one. Right, before I do that, I'm going to pick up a crumb bead. I'm going to go through the same hole. So if I have it vertically and I'm going through the right hole, then I need to go to the right hole at the bottom as well. Then I need one more 6mm. I'm gonna go through this 6mm and just turn my tiger tail around and pull this up. I'm gonna go through the crimp bead itself, and I'm gonna take my tiger tail through a couple of beads so I can really pull it nice and tight. So that's it. And you can either pull it with your hand or you can grab the end of the tiger tail and pull it up with a pair of pliers, but as you can see, it's really nice and easily it's moving upwards. So you want it, maybe just leave, I guess, a couple of millimeter gap so you can go in with your pair of pliers and let's just crush that and just crimp bead there. So then I'm going to take my flash cutters, I'm going to pull my tiger tail up, I'm going to, with my flash cutters, with the flash side towards the beads, I'm going to push those down towards the table and just cut so I can get the neatest and sort of the closest cut to the beads, and then my end's going to disappear. So if I turn it around, oh, it's that way, then you can see we got this top row. Now the middle row is gonna go all the way, so I'm gonna use the 8mm beads on the middle row, so we're jumping up in size. First of all, we need to sort of again, you're gonna do this by eye, you're gonna work out how many beads sit, but then there is no right or wrong here, so you could have the next row quite close and really close the row after, but if you really wanted to, you could have a bigger gap here and an even bigger gap at the bottom. So you could, it's your own design, you could do really whatever you like with it, how is sort of, you know, and I think this is the one of the most fabulous, and I think this is why people like beading so much, because you can then go and create your own designs. And even though if two people had the same kit or the same beads, they could come up with many different things to do with them. So I'm just going to take my beads off this string. Now the middle one is gonna go all the way through. So again, I'm gonna take a longer piece of tiger tail here, maybe about 60 centimeters. So I got a little bit to work at the end. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add one of these beads and I take it, pull it almost, so I have maybe about 8 inches left here to do. Then I'm gonna go back to my spring, add my spring on the tiger tail. So when I pull that, that's just gonna stay there nice and secure, and I'm gonna come back and do the end at the minute a little bit later on. So then you're just gonna add your 8mm beads all the way through. Just keep adding them on. You can have a longer or a shorter gap between the two strands. It's your design. Just keep adding those beads. Now I have a couple of these beads which are stuck together here. Sometimes this happens because as they make these really lovely pattern on the beads, the little bit of coloring goes between the beads, and all you have to do is to separate them. I just do it with my round nose pliers. I hold the beads between my hand with the round nose pliers and just press it down very sort of, you don't have to press down hard, and then those beads will get separated up very quickly and easily. Don't try to do it with the scissors because you don't want to hurt yourself, but very easily you can separate them up. It can happen with pearls or any other beads, but they surface color. And these speckled beads are so nice. Oh, DPD just drove past. Never know. I think my son is probably sitting by the window waiting for this chair, bless him, for his computer. He really wanted a chair for such a long time, and then we're giving him some little jobs to earn some pocket money, so we got him the chair. Right, so I'm going to have to add a few more. I want a little bit bigger gap, I think, on this one. On the red one, the gaps are sort of minimal, but on this one, I want to make it more of a design feature that I'm using 3 different strands. So I'm going to add a few more beads. Gosh, it's 11 o'clock. We've been on for an hour now. I could sit here all morning and just bead, but I don't want to bore you. I think this is it. We were talking about this with Sarah the other day, that when you're doing the live videos, you don't realize what the time is, because time just flies. And as I say, when you're having fun, maybe one more. And you don't realize, and it's already 11 o'clock. So I'm going to put it through the middle hole and pull this up. I haven't crimped or haven't done anything, so if I don't like sort of the gap between my beads, I can always take this back and take a bead away or add another bead on, but I think that's sort of perfect, and I'm going to make this one just a tiny bit longer. So I'm going to add another one of, oops, I almost went flying, my tray of beads. I'm going to add another little spring here just to sort of secure it temporary, and I'm going to do my 3rd row. The reason I do this, because I want to graduate the sizes down at the top, so I'm going to use some of the leftover 10 mil, then going into the 8 mil and 6 mil at the back, so get that lovely effect, overall effect at the back. So if I just let me put this down and I can show you, so not only we graduate the bottom of this necklace, we're going to graduate the top as well. So that's why I just temporary these middle ones, I'm not going to put the 3 strands together. I'm going to do the same for the bottom one I did on the sides, but I want these strands to be, they're going to go to the back of my necklace. Just this end is just poking out here. Let me just trim it. That's it. And I'm just quickly going to do my 3rd row here to the bottom. Now I'm going to add the larger beads to the bottom, but at the top I'm going to secure it with one of the 6 mil beads, the same as we did with the 6 mil. So I'm just going to take them all off, just like that. And again, I'm going to take a piece of tiger tail. Now again, you don't have to have a very long piece, because this pieces only have to go from one rows all the way around to the other rows, but it needs to be long enough so that it's probably going to be the longest of your middle pieces. So I reckon about 10 inches will do here, about, or maybe 12 inches, 25, 30 centimeters. But tiger tail is a relatively cheap material, so I always like to work with a little bit longer. Then we're going to need a couple of 6 mil beads as well. So you could, you don't have to crimp the first one on your rows. You could crimp it without having it putting through the rows. So I'm just going to pick up a crimp bead. Oh, come on, go on there. That's it. I pick up a crimp bead, pick up a 6 millimeter, fold the end back, then take, push, pull this tiger tail on the top of the 2nd strand as well, and crimp it just with a pair of pliers, squeeze them nice and flat. Then you can take this through the outside of your rows. Make sure your end goes in there as well, so the little 6 millimeter bead just sits on top. And then quite simply, you're just going to add your 10 millimeter glass beads here and make that lovely third row. I don't know, I sort of keep going between the two designs because I like this design, but then I like the other one is sort of pretty design. So maybe you would wear them for different occasions. Something like this, you would wear it, you could wear it every day, I guess, with, because there's only a couple of roses in there. It's not you know, even though you're doing, I guess what I'm trying to say, even you're doing 3 different strands at the bottom, so it's a little bit more than your ordinary 1-strand jewellery, but you're still, you know, because there's only 2 roses in there and the rest of them is quite plain, it still looks quite nice and elegant, and you could wear it every day. And something like if you put a lot of crystals, and I would really want to dress up when I wear this, I guess. So I'm just going to adding my beads. Now again, you can add more or less here, creating the gap between the two as little or as big as you want, and just keep on adding. I think you can count the beads if you like. If you're making multiple colors, and you want them to make exactly the same, then I would count the beads on the last color. Just keep on adding. Sorry, I'm almost there. Has anybody got any question? Sarah saying gorgeous as always. But to be honest, these, as you can see, is such an easy make. It's nothing really difficult. You're just working with, you know, a few materials. They are £1 each, so but I'm using £2 for the roses. If you bought the speckled glass beads separately, even if you don't go for the big bundle, we're talking about maybe £5 worth of materials. Do I need one more bead, you reckon, or is that going to be fine? Let's just see. I'm just going to put this end through and pull this up tight. Hold it up, let gravity. Yeah, I think that's the perfect size. So that's it. I'm going to take this back, pick up a crimp bead. So the material is what you're working with. It's really, you know, £5–6, I guess, max, even if you add more crystals to it. Now I'm gonna pick up one of the 6mm beads and go and turn my direction around. Let that drop down. Where's my crimp bead one? Oh, I lost the crimp bead. Oh, right, so the 10mm ones here have a large enough hole that the crimp bead can go through it. So we're going to do a little bit of a cheat because you don't want to lose that crimp bead, because that's going to be an essential part of your necklace. So before I go through the hole on the rose, I'm going to use one crimp bead, and I'm going to crimp this crimp bead on the top of these speckled glass beads. So then the crimp bead can't go through. The second crimp bead I'm going to add, and it's actually going to hold my necklace up, can't sink into those glass beads, so it will be easier to do. Then I'm going to go through the end into the 6mm, and then I'm going to turn around. See, I didn't leave a very long end here to work with, but we will be just fine. So that's I like to leave a few centimeters extra because it just makes it easier at the end. So now I'm gonna go into that crimp bead, the extra crimp bead, and I'm gonna take past the crimp what we just crimped there, go into the first bead, and take my pair of pliers, hold my rose and just pull this up nice and tight. And as you can see, as I'm pulling it, this is moving up. And then go in and just crimp it so my necklace is nice and secure, my lengths, and trim the end. That's it. So we got a really nice triple strand at the front, and all is left to do is to do the back. So I'm gonna trim this end because this is from the other side. We don't need that. I'm gonna take these off now, my little spring white added temporary, and I'm gonna start adding my leftover beads. So first of all, I wanna add a few of the 10 mil. So I'm gonna add them. I like to add sort of one bead to one side and one bead to the other side at the same side to make sure I will have an even look once finished. So just keep adding those 10 mils, maybe add a few more. When you're doing a triple strand jewelry at the front like this, you're going to use, obviously, this length is, if I use the strands separately, probably they would be enough for 3 separate necklaces, but because I use them together at the front, it's going to make less pieces, but they're going to be more stunning. So have I got any more 10 mil? I think that's 10 mil. Sorry, I mixed all my beads up on the top here. I think those are my last two 10 mils. Maybe I'm gonna put these two 10 mils to the, there is an 8 mil here, these two 10 mils to the side, because what I then could do, I could do a quite simple but matching pair of earrings, just sort of go a little dangly, just go down in the sizes. So I'm gonna put one of each size on the side for a pair of earrings, which I'm gonna make later. So then now just take the rest of the beads off the string. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Now I'm gonna start adding my 8 mils. Now when I make something like this, a triple strand necklace, this is why it's great to make your own jewelry, because you can, you know, make it to the size what you really want. I always have a problem, especially with bracelets, that if I really wanted this very sparkly bracelet, and even the largest size was too small, because not long, I suppose my wrists are bigger, but I love wearing my jewelry loose. I don't like when it's really tight on your wrist. So my husband bought me a couple of years ago a really nice one, 8 mil. But I had to take it back, and even the largest one was too small. So I guess I got no choice but to make my jewelry to the right size. Right, so let me just, give me 1 second, because as I was working here, I mixed all these beads up. So let's just separate them back up so it will be easier to string. Right, so please do share our video, because I know, like, people saying that, like, you know, share and like my video and all sorts of things, and but because we're doing the free PDFs, and the free PDF today is to how to make your necklace, your rose necklace, you can only download it today. So tomorrow it will be, not every single day we got a free PDF, but most of the days we have. So tomorrow it will be something different. And if you want your friends and family to be able to download the video as well, do share it. And as a company, I guess the more people share our video, and we really do appreciate it, because the more exposure we get and the more people we can get involved with crafting. Because if you went to the supermarket and or, you know, I always go into the jewelry aisle and have a look at things and see, you know, what's available. I think that's enough of the 8 mils. I'm going to add some of the 6 mils now. What's available on there. But if you went into the supermarket and you looked at the jewelry stand and this was on there, you would probably, if you were a beginner, you would be really discouraged, I guess, to, oh, I don't really know how to make that. You know, you would just, it's put you off. But if we get new people involved and we can show them, if they can come and join our video and watch our video, and they can see really how easy it is to make a necklace, I think more people could make their own jewellery or anything like that. And it's, I guess, I always say that you only got 2 wrists and 1 neck. So you can make so many lovely pieces of jewellery, but you can only wear 2 at a time. But I get so much enjoyment out of making jewellery. Like, I haven't got patience, I guess, I wouldn't have patience to teach 30 children in a classroom, but I could sit there 24/7 and do beading and do stitching and create lovely sort of necklaces, bracelets, or home decor as well, because it's so therapeutic as well. It's something, I guess, what switches me off as well, and takes all the stress out. And you don't, even if you're doing something which is not too complicated, but just a little bit more complicated pattern, you need to pay attention to the pattern. And it really takes all the worry out of your life, I guess, because you forget then, and you can just switch off. You can really relax with them. So do share our videos. We can get more people involved. And you know, first of all, if they just download the free PDF and just have a go at it, what they're doing, it's just a really great way to start. Doris is asking, Kitty, what happened to the garden shine video? I could not find it on the normal Facebook tutorial when I downloaded. Sorry, I can't read the rest of it. Let me just downloaded the pattern. I have a look. I had to check it out because Molly was uploading Molly is one of the lovely ladies who works at the warehouse with us, and she's the one who uploads and downloads all the different sort of project as well. Because what we started to do, we started to download these videos and then upload them to YouTube as well, so you can see them there as well. I have a look that what's happening with that now. I'm just gonna take, I need a couple of culottes I'm gonna add to the end. Before I do that, let me just quickly measure it around my neck so it's long enough. Maybe I actually wanna add just 2 more beads on either side, because I really want the longer part sort of down on the front. And then I'm just going to add the end, which is going to be culottes again. It's really easy to do, but we're creating something very effective with, again, not much materials. But if you went into the shop and you seen a necklace like that, that would be least, I guess, 10-15 pounds they would ask for it. And you made it from a fiver, I guess. Right, so now got enough beads going around. Just double check it again. Yeah, I think that's the perfect size. I'm gonna add the clot to the end. So the clot is this little finding, which is like little 2 balls stuck together in the middle, with little loops on the top, like a clamshell. I'm gonna come from the bottom inwards. Now I will double crimp this. So I'm gonna add 2 crimp beads to the end here, because we're using 3 strands of glass beads on the necklace, so it's a little bit more heavier than normal. And then I'm just gonna crimp the crimp beads side by side, so you can get away. I can show you just in a second. So I crimped both of the crimp beads there. You can get away with 2 of them side by side, because the crimp cover, if I pull this up, sort of trying to keep it open and pull it up for you, will cover both of those crimp beads. So I'm going to trim the end right to the crimp bead. Now I'm going to, on the other side, I'm going to show you another trick. So, and I'm going to pull this up and then squeeze the ends together, just like that. And then pull the tiger tail. So as you can see at this end, we still got a gap. I'm just holding onto the beads and pulling the other end up tight, so that gap disappears. And then we're going to crimp on this side. Now I know Sarah's watching, so that's why I'm going to show how she likes to crimp her necklace. again, you're going to go to the culotte the same way as you did before. You're going to prick up a crimp bead, but this is personal preference, so you could, you know, do it this way or that way, or whichever way is better for you. And again, holding pliers, whatever is the better for you and more comfortable for your hand. So what Sarah likes to do is then, as you got your crimp bead here, then she will take the end of the tiger tail back down through the culotte and some of the beads and pull this up. So this way, as your end is poking downwards, you got more of a, I wouldn't say more secure, it's just a different way to finish it. Just pull this really tight. Let me just get this back out because I don't want any gaps. So I want to pull this nice and tight. We still got a little gap. Let me get my round nose pliers. So I'm going to pull this back out. Just a tiny bit. You can see I'm so used to do it the other way, and then really tighten this up nice and tight. So that's it. Then I'm going to crimp the crimp bead just in the there in the culotte itself. I'm going to trim this end, shut the culotte, nice and secure, and all is left to do, and I'm going to do this just right now because I really want to show you, put this necklace on. The many of you stayed here with me, bless you, for almost an hour and a half now. So I'm going to put a lobster clasp on one side. Actually, I don't want that small one. I'm going to use this larger one, but you could use any clasp you like. So I wouldn't recommend a magnetic clasp for this one because you got the weight of 3 different strands of necklace here, and you could use toggle clasp if you don't like lobster clasp or any other clasp, or really strong or safety catch, I guess, with the safety chain with the magnetic clasp. But just think about the weight of the beads because you got 3 strands on your necklace, and I'm just going to close it back in. So me and Sarah, I suppose we showed you quite so many times this, how to open and close a jump ring, but there is always new people here. So just want to show you one more time. So holding the jump ring with a cut right at the top, I'm going to support it as much as I can with 2 pairs of pliers. I'm going to twist one towards me and the other one away. So I twisted once towards me, the other one away. And then on one end, I'm just adding this culotte to the jump ring. On the other end, I'm adding the culotte and the lobster clasp at the same time. Now closing it back in, I'm going to bring it past the midway just a tiny bit, maybe sort of half a width of the jump ring, and then it will spring shut. If you look at it and you can still see a little gap between the 2 ends, then I would open it up, sort of press it inwards a little bit, take it to the other side, press it in a bit, and then bring it back to the middle. And when you feel that middle rub together, that's when you know it's really nice and secure. Right, I'm gonna turn you around now, and we're gonna put this lovely necklace on. Just get this out of the way. So that's it. So this will be, ta-da! Our necklace is done. So as you can see, I made it a little bit longer than I would a normal, oh, where are you? There are you. A normal necklace, because I wanted this to sit down on the top of my top. Perhaps I could have gone, if I wanted even longer as well, so this would of my ends, let's take this up so you can see it better, my ends would can even come down over here as well. But it's a lovely piece of necklace to make, you know, it's really easy as well with those roses. So don't forget to check out the website. Actually, I'm going to leave it on. Don't forget to check out the website. We got many offers on there and different bits of pieces. The big bundles of glass pearls. Me and Sarah are going to be using it for so many different projects. So it's a good thing to get. The speckled glass beads, again, are coming back. I think this is I think the fourth or fifth project I did with it. So if you can get your hands on there, do get it, because we will go through and do so many lovely different things with it. I hope you enjoyed today. It has been a long one. Sorry, we've been here for an hour and a half. But I hope you have really enjoyed it, and I could have shown you a couple of sort of different stringing with these roses. So these ones, the middle size, and they the large ones, so you can and then the small ones as well. Let me just show you again. So you can mix and match the colors. You can, you know, use one color on so this technique to do it this way with elastic, and it's elastic on both strings. I can show you separately on another video now, because I'm quite conscious that we've been here for quite long. But this is the same as you did with the crystals in this necklace. You just need to cross over in the little itself. So if I turn it around, you can see the thread path, and just focus on it. We crossed over in the rose itself. So I hope you are enjoying your day today. Whatever you do, enjoy your weekend. I will be back tomorrow, and we are doing the I need to make a couple more samples. Let me just grab it. We'll be doing tuber or herringbone. I will have a few ombre colors on the website, which my lovely Lucy played with so much yesterday. Thursday, because I had a phone call from work and see that all the stock came in. So we went in and grabbed the stocks, and Lucy was just sitting there on the table, sort of lining them up. I did put a picture on my Facebook, showing them to you, and she was like, oh no, you could put this color with this and that color with that, and she was there for like half an hour just rearranging the colors. I don't know where she gets it from. I could just sit there and do that myself. So thank you very much for watching me. Do you have a lovely day. Be back tomorrow. We're going to be doing stitching. This is going to be a good one as well, because depending on what colors you use, you can make, and I got a rainbow one here as well with smaller beads. You can do so many different effects and make it more you sort of a female or male or younger or older look, just depending, just by changing the colors of and the finishes of the seed beads. So thank you very much. I can see Sarah has been doing answering some of your questions. I will go through and have a look. Do join our Facebook groups. Do share the video for us so we can get more people involved in the craft. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely Saturday. Whatever you do, stay safe, everybody. Bye.